And there's a look at the starting netminder for Toronto, Andrew Angelage, whose last appearance for Toronto was the final game of the season last year, April 11th. He made 27 saves in a 5-2 loss to the Abbotsford Heat. Meanwhile, at the other end of the ice, Jordan Pierce will get the start for the Grand Rapids Griffins. 8-5-4 with a 2.79 goals against average and .909 save percentage on the season. Here's John Mitchell in the slot, tries a shot, and then when it Pyan in front. Boro centers for Kadri. Mitchell shot, great save made by Pierce, and the puck is deflected over the glass and out of play. Mueller spins, now throws it across high in the air, but jumping up for it was Emerton. He knocks it down and hands it off for Menard, carried into the Toronto zone. Emerton back to the point for Meach. Shot to the net, they score! Derek Meach gets a shot towards the net, and Chris Menard gets his stick on it, redirecting it past Angelage for the opening goal of the game. Danny Richmond up with it. Plays it across at the box, but out of the box comes Jordan Owens, and off come the gloves with Danny Richmond. Richmond with a couple of quick lefts right off the start as Owens was still trying to get his gloves off. Now they back off the boards a little. In a headlock here. Off comes the helmet of Owens. Richmond swinging. They're in rather tight, and down they go. Engel up ahead at center. Craig Scott will deflect it in. Hyatt going after it. Takes it around behind his own net. Being chased out by Greg Scott. He picks it off. Scott with a chance. Trying to throw it back in front for Foster. He hadn't caught up to the play yet. Menard picks it off. He'll send it up onto the wing. Here's a pass. Merzick springing. Emerton in alone. Shoots. Scores! Corey Emerton sneaks in alone and slips it right through the pads of Andrew Angelage, and it's 2-0 Grand Rapids. Last shot from the point, trying to get to it, they score! Joe Colburn in the slot gets the rebound. His first goal as a Marlie in his first game.
And the youngster wins the faceoff, goes to the net, and the puck gets blocked on the initial point shot, but he's right there to pick up that loose puck and just backhand it towards the net. It gets by the goaltender Jordan Pierce, and just like that, the Marlies get that one back. It's 2-1.
Up the boards. Hamilton blocks it, gets it away to Foster. Back for Hamilton in the slot. Oh, and as he's knocked down, he gets a high shot away, and Pierce had to get the arm out to block it.
Wow, he got some great wood on that shot, being on his backside. Unbelievable.
Greg Scott on it now. Scott to the slot, shot, and Pierce with a stop rolls wide of the goal. Kadri trying to catch up to it. Boros now drops the gloves here with Greg Amanio. This is going to be Boros'
guys right here.
First scrap in a Toronto uniform. And they're having a chat here, trying to spring a few arms free. Amanio down to a knee, back to his feet. They're down again, and the linesmen will get in as they're swinging on their knees here. And they get separated.
Well, Boros shows his strength right there, John, as he puts Amanio down a couple of times.
Johnson goes to the point. Meach with a shot, tipped, saved by Angelage, and he covers it up in the crease as that one fell right beside him.
Well, this is excellent reflexes by the goaltender, no question about this one.
Kadri to Richmond at the point, over to Geisbers, gets it back to Richmond, off the goal post on the one-timer. Back to the point for Geisbers. Handing it off for Danny Richmond. Back to Geisbers, shot, knocked down in front, Pierce down, chance, scores! Nelson Kadri gets the loose puck on the side of the net, and he taps it home, and it's 2-2. Cardiff ahead for Filppula as Brennan lost his stick on the play. Filppula up with it into the slot. Backhander, they score! The Marlies are going to argue traffic in front of the net here as Cardiff was on top of Angelage. But Grand Rapids gets the goal right back and jumps out front 3-2. Thomas Tatar back to the line. Smith picked up by Greg Scott. Off for Ryan Hamilton. Here's a 2-on-1. Hamilton holding, waiting to Scott. Shot, save, rebound. He scores! Greg Scott comes up with his own rebound and taps it home, and Toronto's tied it at 3. Zigomanis won the draw to Kadri, walking in, shoots, score! Right through the legs of Pearson, just rolled wide on the outside of the post. Across for Zigomanis, back over to Kadri, one-timer, and it hits Greg Scott in front of the net. Pierce can't get a glove on it. Taken around behind the goal by Anderson.
You got to have a guy stand in front of the net, and sometimes you're going to get hit with the puck.
Oh,
you can
look
see
at the
whole
red
circle
welt.
of the puck, a big red welt.
Ryan Lashoff after it, and he'll try to work it up the boards, taken away by Zigomanis. Rolling it over to Engel, walking in with a shot. Pierce to save, rebound, and he gets the leg back across. As Nazem Kadri on the top of the crease just couldn't tip it home in time. Around the wing, Redicke trying to play it. Picked off though, Foster's got it, hands it off to Greg Scott in the slot, and the pass was in his skates.
Oh, Scott was ready with his stick cocked for that one-timer, but it got into the skates.
Whoa, the shot goes through the pads of Angelage, off the post, stays out, and the period comes to an end. And the Marlies are gonna go to overtime with the Griffins. Right off the draw, quick shot, and it's steered away by Pierce, may have grazed the goalpost. Kadri trying to take it away from him, knocks him down. Kadri's now got it in the corner, but two Griffins paying attention to him. Kadri back to his feet, trying to win the battle. He gets dumped by Meach. Fans want to call, they don't get one there. Puck played out in front, holes are on it, and it gets cleared out at center with 10 seconds to go. So the shootout to decide the extra point, and here comes John Mitchell. Mitchell crossing in to the slot. What a play, and he scores! Great move by John Mitchell. Emerton in on Angelage. Scores with a snapshot low along the ice. 1-1. Here comes Kadri. Crossing in, Kadri with a high shot, and it's up over the net. Here comes Tatar. Into the slot. Fake, shake, and bake, and scores. Here's Scott coming straight down the middle. Scott put it off the goalpost. Merzak 1 for 4 in the shootout. Here he comes. Merzak in. And a blocker save made by Angelage. Here comes Joel Colburn. He already has a goal in the game. And he's got a beautiful goal in the shootout.
Well, the youngster shows he's got some hands for a big man.
Here comes Phil Pula. He's in. And he is stopped by Angelage as he tried to spin himself around and maybe do a little backhander, but it didn't work. Zigomanis now in, 1 for 6. Zigomanis slows down, scores!
And a chance to win the hockey game with a save.
Francis Perry 1 for 5. Angelage has got to make the stop, and Perry shot it wide. Toronto wins it in the shootout.